wearing black trunks. He's weighing in at 162 pounds even. From Chelsea, Massachusetts, Judge the Hammer Heckley.
Breaking stuff back. You want to be wrestling, right? Somebody goes down and you want it and stay there until I tell you to pull. Let's have a good fight, shake hands.
John Horgan along with Paul Stivaleta and Pete McGowan now on the camera. Just had a chat with Bill Conley, the Vice President of the New England Amateur Boxing Federation. Bill Hoare is in attendance, who runs the Gold Gloves. Well, this match is a middleweight matchup. Paulie, Chris Frank in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. He's going to fight left-handed against his opponent, George Heckley, who fights out of the red corner. It is Frank who has the black trunks with the red trim, and they're underway immediately.
Yep, they're just starting off, and you're going to see a little wild leather going in the beginning in the first few seconds here until they settle down, and you'll see some real good boxing until a heavy blow lands, and then the fighter will take it from there.
So out of the red corner, George Heckley. Out of the blue corner, Chris Frank. Heckley, the left-hander. Frank trying to duck underneath now with a solid left hook to the body, Paulie, and he's just staggered Heckley. Now Frank with a nice combination as he backs Heckley up against the ropes right in front of our cameraman. Heckley fights back. He's the lefty.
Frank can land some very vicious body blows there, good blows. But Heckley is a dangerous, lanky fighter like we saw earlier in the night. He needs room to wind up his punches, but he's dangerous. He needs to stay at a distance. So Frank has to stay in close to him and land those heavy blows. There's another one. Frank is going to stay on top of Heckley in order to pull this fight off. He should stay right on top of him at this whole round and the next round, and I think you'll see Heckley come down.
Yep. Frank now being backed up by Heckley. Heckley in the black trunks with his back to you. Heckley now going to town on Chris Frank. This is a middleweight bout. We're in the first round. These are 2-minute rounds, 4 rounds. The referee is Mike Ryan. The judges are Ed Marchand and Andy Mason. Now again, George Heckley has been backing up Chris Frank the entire first round, Paulie, which is obviously a barometer as to who is winning this opening round.
Well, I gotta give it all to Heckley right now. He's pressing in, he's landing a bit of punches, and Frank is just backing up and not doing very much in there, really. He's just throwing a couple of wild punches here and there. But Heckley is the one that's pressing the fight, throwing the better of punches, and landing some serious punches, which we just seen right there.
Heckley now with a straight left. Now the right hook to the body, a left hook to the body now as he works over Frank. Frank has the height advantage, but as you know, Paul Stivaleta, that means doggy when it comes to boxing, because you used to take down opponents who had 4 to 5 inches on you at least.
Oh, definitely. I was shot from my side. But what you see here, Heckley is doing some tremendous body punches, but the only thing he's doing wrong is backing off his opponent. Frank is a tall, lanky fighter, and Heckley should be staying right on top of him with those nice punches. Only problem is he's landing the punches and he's backing off to the center of the ring, and that's bad as far as Heckley's concerned. Heckley's got to keep the pressure on, fight inside with those nice body shots that he's throwing, but the problem is he's throwing the body shots, landing them, and stepping back. He's got to stay on top of his opponent.
Giving Frank some time to recoup. Now, you're in Frank's corner. What are you going to say to him? You've been backing up on the unicycle, take the fight to him? What's up?
Well, you got to take the fight to him. You got to stay right on top of him. Frank is a guy that needs room out there. He's a long arm, tall fighter. He needs that whole ring to get those punches off. So Heckley's got to stay on top of him all the time and press that fight. Don't give him any room to keep him right on the ropes. In other words, he's got to keep him right on those ropes and keep the body punches. Frank has got to keep Heckley off him. Frank needs the room, the reach, and he needs to use up all that ring in order to get his punches off. So if Heckley can stay on top of him, he's going to take the
Round 2 of this middleweight bout. We're in the grand ballroom of the Lowell Sheridan Inn. John Horgan joined by Paul Stivaleta, Pete McGowan, the cameraman, Chris Frank, the lefty with the black trunks and red trim. That's George Heckley with his back to you. Heckley now going to town. Frank with a nice uppercut. Now Heckley swings wildly with a left cross. Like you said, Paulie, Heckley was landing the blows on Frank, and then he was backing off and giving him time to recover.
Heckley lands a nice, good, solid shot, and then he backs off it. He's not putting 2 and 3 punches together and keep the attack going. He has to keep the attack going on his opponent because he's a tall, lanky fighter. He's got him in the corner now. Now he's got to stay in there, not back off. He's got to keep working in there. That's it.
Nice combination.
Right now, nice combination, and well, there's a good shake-off right there, as you can see.
And now here comes Frank. Frank trying to go to work on Heckley, as Heckley has dominated this fight up to this point. Now Frank unleashed. Frank with a vicious left that just skids off the ear of Heckley. Now Heckley comes back with a nice left hand followed by a right. He's going to work on the body, Paulie. That's his game plan.
Yes, Heckley is got tremendous good power inside, but not doing enough of it. Frank is getting some wild shots off, not throwing enough punches. He's waiting too long, counter punching. Maybe he's playing possum in there, I don't know, but he can't take too much of those blows. He's going to have to take a toll on him in this next round coming up.
Mike Ryan just warned Frank. Oh, Frank is covering up. This is a bad place to be when you're backed into your opponent's corner and he starts to go to town on you.
Well, the referee had to warn Heckley because Heckley's a body puncher and punching inside, and the other fighter's leaning over, a tall fighter, so it looks like the punches are going low. It's not his fault. He's trying to get to those body punches, so referee's got to stay on top of the shot of guy that's working at the body, make sure he doesn't go below that belt, safety belt.
Now, they are wearing the safety belts. Is that what you call them?
Well, those are protectors, but whenever I use the word safety belts, you can't punch below that, and if you do, you're going to get fouled and have points taken away from you, or even lose the whole round, as we saw earlier that happened tonight with a low blow.
Heckley won the first round of this fight. Now he's backing up Frank with a vicious left hand. Oh my! And he stung him with a left cross and a straight arm right. Oh man, he culminated with that right hand, Paulie, and he stunned Frank. Frank appears to be a little groggy.
Yep, Heckley's doing a tremendous job on the body. He did more punching than. What he's doing is hitting him in the body to bring his hands down, and so he can get at his chin. And you're going to see that happen at any moment. But it's still dangerous that Heckley doesn't get caught with a good right hand coming in by Frank, and that could happen too.
That is the end of the second round in this middleweight bout.